The media world is messy, and we don't understand it very well. As media executives, your job has become increasingly complex. Some of you may even call it chaos. My job today is to convince you that the media are just fine. In fact, the media ecosystem as it exists today has never been more favorable for both media owners and for advertisers. We, the people, are the problem. We attempt to apply old world thinking to a new world order, and it simply doesn't work. I discovered this myself when I tried to build a curriculum experience for my classroom at Northwestern University. When you stop and look at the language, the rules, and the logic that we still apply to media and message delivery, it's quite illogical. It's time to set the record straight. It's time to make sense of a messy media world. Sensationalism sells, and I guess it's no different when it comes to the media. When you read the headlines, it sounds like the media world is coming to an end. Ironically, the media love to talk about the death of the media. It makes for a great story, but are these stories grounded in truth? Since the dawn of the media world, has one medium ever single-handedly destroyed another? Did the printing press put the town crier out of business? Did television kill radio? Did the home video market wipe movie theaters off the map? Why now, at the dawn of the 21st century, do we believe that legacy media will all of a sudden disappear? Something is definitely awry, but it isn't the media, it's the media system. Once upon a time and not too long ago, we lived and worked in what I like to call the Newtonian media era. The media systems were relatively stable, and the laws of media effects were absolute. Things didn't change all that much from media schedules on paper to the media schedule that was actually delivered in market. We were able to model post-term media effects with relative statistical certainty. In the media world, the media knew their place. They understood their audiences and how their particular medium fit into the overall scheme of an advertiser's media strategy. But during the late 20th century, all that certainty went out the window, and we can't blame digital media as the sole culprit. Frankly, every legacy medium began to change. As media capacity expanded, consumers became less loyal to media channels and more loyal to specific content that suited their interests. Audiences became much more fluid and difficult to pin down. Everything about the media became less certain and more relative. Welcome to chaos. Finally, Einstein unseated Newton. For some reason, it just took longer for relativity to show up in the media business than in other industries. But frankly, we should be glad that the old Newtonian media system has fallen apart. The old system looked at each medium in isolation in an attempt to pick the winners at the expense of the losers. The idea of a media audience was reduced to a circulation figure or a rating point during one moment in time. This reductionist thinking certainly didn't capture the potential of how consumers interact with and across media to engage with content. It's good to let go of Newtonian media rules and replace them with more relative thinking. Yes, chaos is messy, but chaos is much more interesting and far more productive for both the media and for advertisers. But what is the new physics that guides the media ecosystem? We need a simple explanation for how the media work today. Einstein said it best. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Oftentimes, there are simple explanations buried beneath all the problems. You simply have to get to the root of the problem. When you listen to all the complaints, you can begin to classify them into 5 macro themes. Each of the 5 problems reveals a core truth that helps us understand this new media world we're living in. We simply didn't land on the 5 global truths that make sense of a messy media world. Each one only became apparent after we sought out meaning from the new function of the media themselves. Some technological occurrence had to both illuminate and enable our explanation. For each of the 5 global truths, there's evidence. The technology, something changes in the media itself. The pioneer, someone had an aha moment. The chaos, all that's wrong with our approach today. And ultimately, the truth, somehow it all makes sense.